Today I'm going to talk about stepping into our true nature through observing people we admire. So this is something I've been doing for a while now, and the results can be very surprising. So the way it works is if you have people that you interact with, or it could even be a celebrity or somebody that you admire in terms of, maybe they've written a book that you like, or they've got a podcast that you love, something that you really connect to. You might view that as being something outside of yourself, in terms of you admire that person because they've got a quality that you don't have. But I like to look at it a bit differently in terms of things that draw us to other people, and the things that we admire about other people are possibly latent talents and abilities that we have within ourselves. So if you admire somebody, for example, who shows a lot of empathy, but you feel like you're not an empathic person, could it be that actually on a deep level you do have that ability and that natural instinct to be empathic, but it's not something you're expressing currently? So by observing that person and noticing what you admire and what you like about them, you can start to get in touch with something within yourself that maybe has been suppressed. It can feel really uncomfortable at first, and that might not feel true, but just ask yourself, what's the reason that you're drawn to a certain person or a certain type of personality if it's not part of who you are? And it can work too with things like, it doesn't have to be a sort of emotional ability. It could be the way somebody speaks out, for example. So I don't know if you're in a meeting at work and somebody is always speaking very clearly, and you feel like you don't have that ability yourself. Maybe look at yourself and see whether you actually do have that ability. Is it just something you're feeling insecure about, or maybe there's something that you've developed which you haven't recognized yet? So you might feel like you're not a clear speaker, but that could be something from childhood or from years ago that maybe is no longer an issue or no longer a challenge. And then when you start to notice that, you can let it go and move on and focus on something else. So sometimes we think that we're not good at something, when actually, because we've got that in the forefront of our mind and we have been focused on it, maybe we've developed that sort of without noticing it. So sometimes we can actually move on and move our focus forward by just acknowledging how far we've come with an ability or talent that we've developed. And that then frees up time and energy to focus on something new. So just want to challenge everybody today to think about, what kind of people are you drawn to? What abilities do they have that you admire? And do you actually have those abilities within yourself?